Morning. Monday the 3rd of February, we've made it. And I've got static hair, you can see that, just, yeah, ridiculous. This week I finished chapter 10 of my first draft of the next Lisa McAuliffe book. I finished chapter 10. That means I've got 2 more chapters to go and then the draft is finished. I've got to the end of the story. And even though I plan it to the nth degree, you'll remember, if I show you my planning file, and let's just say I was writing chapter 10. Oh, there's chapter 10. So there's my drop-down plan of chapter 10 that I worked on last week. It is all still up in the air because I'm not going to change the ending. I know the ending, but what I don't know yet are all of the themes that will emerge by the time I get to the end. You have to finish writing a story till you can see the whole story in its entirety. And it's only when you've finished it do things pop up or you realise that things have become part of the final bit that you haven't been aware of. And that's when you go back and you edit so that those things that have emerged by the end have been foreshadowed throughout. It's really clever. Not me being clever, but the idea of writing a story that way is clever. And the comedy writer Joel Morris wrote about this recently. I've actually linked to it in my blog that drops this morning, Nikki Bond and Writer's Ramblings. It drops today at 11 a.m. And I linked this article because it was so good, and it was about the Traitors. And he starts off talking about how every episode of The Traitors is edited by looking at the round table first to see what kind of conversations happened, who got booted out, who was under suspicion. And then the day's footage is edited to lead up to that conversation. So when you're watching it as a viewer, excuse me, when you're watching it as a viewer, it looks really tight, like, oh, these conversations happened here, and then it comes out later on. Well, yes, those conversations did happen that day, but so probably did a million other conversations that didn't make it to the final edit. And he talks about how that's how we write novels. And murder mysteries particularly, Agatha Christie stuff. Get to the end, then decide who did it. Get to the end, then decide what the story was about all along. And I feel that really keenly at the moment because my plot is ticking along nicely. I've got my plot points. I'm getting all the things done on paper that I want to get done. I've got 2 chapters left to go. And yet I'm starting to see things emerge that I can pull out more now as I get to the end. And when I go back to the beginning, I will have to make sure that those emerge a little bit earlier or are foreshadowed a little bit earlier. And they've just been dropped. It's Chekhov's gun, isn't it? Got to drop the gun at the beginning for it to bang at the end. And that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. I'm getting excited about the next stage because I can see it coming. I can see that once I've got to the end of this, I can go back and pull on these threads that are starting to emerge and make them stronger. So that's basically what I'm thinking about at the moment, is the way that I'm sort of getting into I'm anticipating the juicy edit. I'm anticipating getting into the weeds. Weeds. What's that phrase? I'm in the reeds, I'm in the weeds. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Getting into it and making sure that the strong threads are there all the way through, because at the moment they're not, because I've written any old nonsense just to get it done, as I keep saying. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to take my static hair and I'm going to, I don't know what's gone on with it. I need to do my roots. But now I've got working pipes, I can do the roots, I can do my hair. I can put water down the pipes more than normal. It's great. It gets recycled. And it's like just the whole marvellous thing. It was worth 3 weeks of garden nonsense for having it now. Anyway, so other than that, I hope you're having a lovely week. It's Monday. It's sort of bright outside, but it's cold. I did a walk this morning. What else? Don't think I've got anything exciting happening this week. I'm going to the theatre on Thursday. I'm going to see The Merchant of Venice, which is one of my faves. So I'll see what that's like. I might write about it next week. Okay, have a lovely time. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.